Joel Embiid finally comments on the James Harden situation. Also, is Nick Nurse going to change the way Joel plays? Today we'll break down everything you need to know from Sixers training camp day 3.
Perfect.
What is up, everybody? RB here. Welcome into Philly Take with RB. You know the drill by now. Drop a like, subscribe to the show, ring the bell. Don't miss any of the freaking coverage. We are taking it to another level, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into another episode of James Harden's Back, and he returns. Now, let's be honest. There was a lot of shock value yesterday. I think today was a lot more normalized, just a regular practice. We have some great footage, some great quotes, and most importantly, one thing that I think is going to shock you guys, really going to change the culture and the dynamic of this team. So we'll get into all of it. We will break it down, but I have a question for the people out there. Do you think James Harden will be on the Sixers to begin the season? Now that he's been back for a couple days, do you think this will carry out and that he will remain a member of the Philadelphia 76ers? Give me your thoughts down below in the comments. Before we jump into it all, I have to tell you about our great sponsor of today's show, BetUS. They have agreed to partner with us for the entire season. Very cool with the guys over there, and they are taking this thing to the next level. You guys got to check out BetUS. And right now, if you click the link down below in the description or in the comments, you can get a 125% sign-up bonus. What does that mean? If you click that link and sign up and say you deposit $100, they will match you $125 free dollars to play with. That is unheard of. You are not beating that anywhere. They're safe, secure, reliable. And for example, right, we're talking about James Harden. Will he be on the Sixers? I like BetUS because, you know, they have the parlays, the player props, the regular things, right? But they have some really unique bets. For instance, if you go down, they have all these specials, man. For example, you can even bet on James Harden. NBA special, James Harden. Will he be traded on or before November 15th? You can literally put a bet on that. If I wanted to go minus 140 on James Harden being on the Sixers, all it takes is a couple clicks. You could bet just like that. Boom, one click, place the bet. You're not getting these anywhere else. And they have great customer service. They will help you through anything you need help with. And again, you can get a 125% sign-up bonus right now by clicking the link down in the description. Sign up with BetUS. All right, let's get into it, man. So, Joel Embiid made an announcement today, nothing practice related, but Joel Embiid is going to represent the USA in the 2024 Olympics. He could have chosen between Cameroon, France, and the USA. He decides to rock with USA. Why is this important? Because next off season, right, we keep hearing about this cap space. Maybe Joel can do a little chattering, right? Maybe recruit. That's what these guys do when they play with all this star-studded talent. So keep your eye on that. Joel, though, says that his decision was family-based, says that his son is American, and you add to the fact that I've been here for a long time. I feel like the past few years, every decision has been more based off of family. So, you know, Joel was changed as a father, obviously, just changed his dynamic, the way he handles himself. And yeah, this was a big decision, but he will be on Team USA. I can't wait to see that. You know, we have to talk about James Harden, man. Here he was, day 3, aka day 2 for him, and he's back. He's talking to the coaches. According to sources, he has been compliant. He has not made any distractions. He's been handling himself like a professional, and I give him credit, man. He's out here, and he's doing his thing. Obviously, his intention is still to be traded to the Clippers, but right now he's at least handling it miles better than a guy like Ben Simmons did. Now, here's another clip of James Harden from the Sixers Twitter. Look at that, man. Throwing some dimes. According to the players and the coaches, he hasn't really done much, starting to get integrated a little bit with the starters, but, you know, they have to wait and see how it plays out. I still got the vibe yesterday that it doesn't really feel like he's back yet, you know, but at least we have some more in-depth footage now, finally, and he was actually available this time when the media entered. Yesterday, he left early, but today he was there, and shout out to Austin Krell, our guy. Nick Nurse says that James Harden is still ramping up for actually playing in team scrimmages, but he does want to play, so he is showing a sign of being committed and trying to hop back in, you know, to the groove with things, even though it's not perfect, right? Sometimes you got to suck it up, be a man, like I said last week, and that's what he's doing right now. So to that, I will give him credit. Now, Joel Embiid was finally asked. We finally hear from Joel Embiid. I was waiting yesterday. No clips of Joel Embiid. but he was asked about James Harden and him finally being back at practice, and listen up to what he had to say.
Joe, what's it been like having James back at practice with you guys?
It's been good. He's been, doing a little bit of stuff. He hasn't played, but energy has been great. He's been around, and I think he's great for us. Coming in and not being the distraction. Not that it was gonna distract us anyways, because we've been so focused. I think this group is a little different than a couple of years ago. When we had this situation and with a new coaching staff and everything that's going on, I think it's been easy, and I don't think anybody has been distracted about what has been going on.
So Joel Embiid doubles down, says he's been fine, no distractions. I like the leadership of Joel, just handling things professionally. Right, a couple years ago, obviously made a lot of quotes, and everything was stirred up. Now he comes out, says everything is fine, and I like how he spoke to the team, kind of learning from the other situation, right? He says, we had this same kind of thing a couple years ago with Ben Simmons, but now we're a different group, right? We've matured a couple years, and now we're kind of ready to handle that situation. So great answer by Joel, and he just looks lasered focused, and no matter what hits this guy, he's going to try to battle through that adversity. Now, Joel Embiid made this quote regarding Nick Nurse, right? Yesterday we talked about what Tobias Harris said about Nick Nurse, what Daniel House said. A lot of guys are indirectly throwing shots at Doc Rivers, but this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the most prolific quote of the day. Listen to what Joel Embiid had to say about his upcoming play style and how the system will be with Nick Nurse this year.
A lot of guys have spoken to the offensive changes that have happened with movement and different things. I guess, what's the biggest difference so far compared to last couple of years on that side of the ball?
Biggest difference? I love it, and we all love it. I think this is the best way to win, and I've always believed that. I never liked the idea of just being a scorer. I like to do everything on the basketball court.
I never liked the idea of just being a scorer. I like to do everything on the floor. Talks about the movement and how Nurse is getting everybody involved. Whether you believe that or not, it's just nice to hear, man. It's nice to hear everybody's going to be involved in the offense.
I want to be a playmaker. I want to score. I want to get my guys involved. I want to, get them open. So, the way we've been playing, the system in place that we're working on, I think, it might be, it might take a while, but, once we figure it out, we're going to be fine. But it's fine.
You've never had Joel Embiid play like this. Like you said, it's going to take some time, but, he's going to start to do everything almost like a Nikola Jokic. You saw the formula that worked for the Denver Nuggets. You have to get everybody involved, and that could, you could see Joel some nights scoring 15 to 20 points, but maybe he's got 10 assists. Maybe he's got 12 rebounds and a couple blocks to go with it, Make him a more well-rounded player, utilize his skill set, and don't just let him rely on having to go for 45 a night and excluding everybody else. That's what Doc Rivers was heavy on, just, Joel or a two-man game. And, whether you believe Joel or not, he's dedicated to getting everybody else involved in this offense and just making it a more team-style play, which I really do think will benefit this team, especially Joel, right? You don't have to put as much burden on him. So say come playoff time, maybe his usage is not as high and he's a little more fresh. That's just one example, but shout out to Joel Embiid. And then Nick Nurse went and commented on Joel Embiid. And here's what he said about Joel Embiid's aggressiveness on defense. We've been talking about, are they going to play drop coverage? Are they going to switch everything? Kind of hard to, maneuver and navigate with a guy like Joel Embiid down low. But here's what Nick Nurse had to say.
Is there a line that he has to kind of walk between being, risky or being, reckless versus just doing everything?
Really risky, really reckless.
Really risky, really reckless. Once again, shout out to our guy, Austin Krell. Nick Nurse said that with a dead face, man. I want Joel to go out there and be a disruptor. Anybody comes into that paint, no, you man your own house. Don't come into my paint. Play wild, play aggressive, move around. Don't get lazy. I love it, man. Joel Embiid and Nick Nurse. I'm telling you, I know there's a lot of chaos with the Sixers, but this man right here is a creative basketball mind. He is going to reshape the way we are accustomed to watching Sixer games. I'm telling you right now, it may not be perfect at first, but the philosophy and the system, you will see things that are much more outside the box, not just the same strategy every night and just running it into the ground until it doesn't work. I am so pumped for Nick Nurse as the coach of this team. Lastly, we will look at some footage clips. Here is another one from the Sixers pagers. Maxey, they posted one last night. Maxey going behind the back to Embiid. I'm freaking excited for Tyrese Maxey. You got Melton. Now, all I'm seeing is everybody just moving around. I know, the main thing so far, the label is movement. But damn, that's an understatement. Everybody's just moving around. Everybody's involved. Here's Lauren Rosen with a clip. Guys getting some shoot-around work in again. There's Paul Reed again, working with some of those jumpers. And Danny Green seems to not be missing. Danny Green is not missing a shot. We'll see if he can still move in a game-like style. But, hey, Danny Green could be one of those under-the-radar players, hopefully. Here's Keith Pompey. He says Danny Green puts on a three-point shooting clinic during a post-practice drill. Is it me or this guy not missing? Yesterday, the day before, I haven't seen Danny Green miss a shot yet. So he's on fire, man. And then one last thing, Tobias Harris staying after practice to put in work. We looked at him yesterday. He's becoming more of a catch-and-shoot guy and just, again, being versatile, playing different roles. That is what you must do in a Nick Nurse style. That is what you must do in a Nick Nurse offense, right? You have to be dynamic. You can't be Toby that just goes to that little mid-range turnaround fadeaway all the time. Do different things. Keep the defense off balance. Be a multifaceted weapon in this offense, and then you will earn yourself more minutes. Nice shot there. Nice release. Quick form from Tobias Harris. But those are just all my thoughts. I want to hear from you. Who's going to stand out on this team? What do you think? Will James Harden be here? What will Joel Embiid? What will this team look like? I'm getting fired up already, man. Give me all your thoughts down below in the comment section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.